Thank goodness, Les, that was quick work. You were quick on the ball there. Quicker than me. Good morning to you anyway, Les. Had a lovely pop on AMC. I'm trying to watch this trade and get the stream ready. Look, best team on the night lost. It's sometimes it goes like that, you know. You get somebody gives the goalkeeper a can of spinach and the forearms pop out. If you get that reference, we can be friends. Still got 5,000 shares of AMC. Our average is 56. It's currently 73. So having a good start to the day. Hey Phil, good morning to you as well. Good man, Les. Glad I'm not the only one. That sounds more like Mr. Krabs these days than Popeye, but you know, it's the same voice. Olive oil, absolutely. Bluto and Brutus were two synonyms, or two names of the same villain, the Popeye villain. He was mostly known as Bluto, but latterly became Brutus. Ride this up. Hopefully, break $16. Hold it for the break of $16 and then we can look for another entry on the 5 minute to add to the position. Got this resistance level at 1575 that we've not quite passed yet. It was resistance for quite some time back in end of April and May. Also early March, so this 1575 is a key level, so I want to see it above $16 before it kind of reverses. This is AMC. So what's moving today? The wider markets are slightly down pre-market. They did move yesterday, but they're slightly down today. We've got AMC and GME looking to rally again, a continuation from last week. We've got the energy stocks, Indonesian Energy, and Servco, Houston American. All of those energy stocks are moving again today. They're all up. we've got crypto mining stocks, so the likes of HUT, Mara, RIOT, those Hive, those crypto mining stocks are all moving today to the upside. And we've got CTT, which is Catchmark Timber Trust, is moving up on news of a potential merger. So those are what we're watching today so far. Remember to tap the screen 10 times as you come into the stream. It just helps with the algorithm. It gives us you know, a couple of hundred likes to show the algorithm that this is an engaged stream. I'm not taking my eyes. I'm not engaging the chat too much just yet. I'm watching this. Ouch! I'm watching this trade. We're in for 5,000 shares still on AMC. Wondering how much a capital that is. It's with I'm using leverage obviously because I don't have a $79,000 account at the moment, but about $79,000 worth of equity. There's the 8 o'clock scrum. It always gives me a heart attack when I'm in a trade at 8 o'clock. That's the algorithmic traders. The order book being cleared by the market makers. Five-minute low of this 5 minute is 67, so that's our exit. Why'd you say that, Michael? And why'd you say that? Love your opinion. It's always welcome. We welcome everybody's opinion. I'm just wondering why that opinion has been forged. Why do you think VNTR is going to fly? Big dark pool volume last week, so what makes you think that's got anything to do with price action for this week? Just asking. I'm not trying to be a bollocks or anything. I'm not just. I want this to hold above the this 1575. We've had, it was key resistance previously on the daily. $16 has been. Look at it on the day on the daily. You can see. Oh, it's too messy. But you can see this $16 here is quite key. I need to get rid of most of these lines. This is how often I've traded AMC. Course. So it had good volume last week. So what makes you think it's going to fly this week? I'm just playing devil's advocate with you. You know, we had Sega moved up because it had great volume last week. It's selling off today. I look calm. Well, I'm already 3 grand up, 4 grand up if I include the unrealized. 5,000 shares in this trade at the moment, so of course I'm calm. I'm a bit cold with that window open. I need to close that window, but I can't until I get out of this trade. Or until the market opens and I can put a stop. Hey, Carlos. Remember to Phil. Oh, you're in Twitch. Carlos in YouTube, remember to hit that thumbs up button. Just need to get increase my subscriber count on YouTube. I need to get 1,000 subscribers. Everybody go and subscribe. Everybody go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You see a lot more over there anyway. The chat's not as active, but what are you going to do? Will we break $16 or will we get rejected? That's the question. Looking for the break of $16 here. We're up at we're up at 95 cents. 15.95. I think the Michael, I think the 52-week break of resistance is more significant than the dark pool volume. What I would say about trading, particular retail trading and day trading, is don't look for obscure reasons why something might move. Because if it's obscure, the masses won't see it. Look for obvious reasons why something's going to move. Because you want to follow the actual volume, not dark pool volume, which is, you know, nefariously hidden away. You want to follow the actual volume, where the mass of traders is. There we go. There's the $16. So you want to follow where most people are trading, because that way you can jump in with the crowd. You follow the crowds. It becomes more reliable that way. If you're looking for something that's a little bit obscure and you see something that, yeah, it may or might not, it looks like a good signal, but it's hidden away somewhere, the chances are it won't get seen by the masses. Well, this is turning out to be a good trade. I might just size up on the next pullback. That high was 25. $77 is our average now. Just added another 2,500 shares. Go. Now in for 10,000 shares. I'm back some, but our average is 1607. Morning, William. Good to see you. I hope you had a lovely weekend. It was a nice long weekend for me because of the markets being closed yesterday. Memorial Day. It was a Labor Day then. Yes, I'm trading pre-market deal. So far it is. I'm in for 10,000 shares. I've just sized up. I've gone big size. Let's move up. I've got a cushion on it, and I'm now 10,000 shares. So when I get over, it'd be nice to get over 16.50, over the $0.50. actually added to our size at 37, so I'd like to at least get over that, take a bit more profit. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Chaudhry. Hey, Darren. Good to see you. It's the first candle to make a new low on the 1 minute. Just holding for the 2 minute chart though. The low on the 2 minute chart is 1610. You can see that I'm still in for 10,000 shares at the moment. Just going to take half off there, a little bit of extra profit just in case. Still in for 5,000 shares. And if it moves up, we can always add back. It's not a problem. $16.07 is our average. Break even. $5,000 shares. As long as I get out above break even on this part of the trade. Don't mind the pullback. Just don't want it to pull back too far. I want to maintain a bit of a cushion on this on this trade. Move up to break the $0.50. Right now, Sega is looking weak. It's way below the VWAP. It's red on the day and playing at 1230s. I made quite a bit of money last week when Sega did a similar kind of move to the downside, and I shorted it. I think I made a significant amount of money last week shorting it on one of the days last week. And a bit of support at 1610 it looks like. Just happens to be on the 9 EMA. Last Wednesday, was it? Okay, so we're now back up to where we were. should have held that additional 5,000, but you know, locking in profits, it doesn't matter how small, is never a bad thing. Nobody ever went broke locking in profits. And you went broke not taking profits. This is the last day of the month, guys. And it stands. As it stands, I'm just under 17,000 in the red on the month. I need a good day today. That's net. That's after commissions and charges. 6,500 in the red trade P&L for the month, which is, for me, that's a small win, considering the huge drawdown we had at the beginning of the month that we've had to dig our way out of. Bit of sideways consolidation again. Thanks, Digap. I think you said that earlier, didn't you? I am calm. I mean, I've got a grand cushion on unrealized on this trade, and I've already locked in 4,600, so I don't have to be panicking right now. This is so far this trade's going my way. Had a 5-minute red candle, which I don't mind. Nice little bit of consolidation. Allows us to move up again and break this $0.5 level, which is what I'm looking for. Wonder, let me know in the chat, do you think it's possible for AMC to get to $20 today? We'd have to run like 30% up on the day. Not 50% up, actually. We finished on Friday 14s, wasn't it? At 14.50ish. Hey, Alphabet. That's the way you've got to go, Phil. Take what the market gives you. Nice to see it back up over kind of 18, 19 after all the crap that I've been giving the ape army. Yeah, I'm nicely in the green for a start at the moment. Good start to the day. How's the month transpired? I was just saying, I'm starting today about 16,000 in the red in total. That's including transaction fees and the like. I'm about 6,500 red based on purely trade P&L. So this trade could get me officially, could get me green on the month. Trade P&L, but not taking into account transaction charges, commissions, fees, etc. So based on where we were at the start of the month, the first week of the month, that huge drawdown over 50k, I think I'll take that as a small win. Our last trading day of the month today. Is it possible to have a 16k day? It's possible. Is it likely? Probably not. This is the top mover of the last 15 minutes. It's only 3% moved. And again, we've got some reputably volatile stocks that are on the move. Energy sector is buoyant today, so boosted American, MARPS, Indonesian energy, all those guys are moving again today. We've got crypto sectors looking buoyant, Hive, RIOT, Mara, HUT, all of those guys. So it looks to me like we've got quite a bit of movement in the market today. So on the 5 minute doji there, 32 high, there we go. Break the $0.50. See it move. Well, this could run. Potentially. We've sold 2,500, bought 5,000, so I'm now in for 7,500. Just locked in a little bit of profit, but increased my size. Average is 1630 now, so 1640 is our exit. It's no specific news as such, but theatres have had a great weekend with Top Gun. I would hop on it if you get a safe entry, Shan. Look for a pullback, a safe pullback. Don't chase the highs. Got a 1 minute red candle there, so if it's right at the $0.50 level, if it moves back up towards 660, you might get a safe entry. $16.58 is the entry on the 2 minute time frame. I hope AMC is gonna rip. I hope it's gonna rip in like the next 2 minutes, right the way up to $20, and then I can get out and just take the rest of the day off. I'd be happy for it to go up to 1750 before the market opens. We've got an hour before the market opens. Just watching where it is right now. Our average cost is 31 cents. It's down at 38, so I'll be getting out for break even if it gets down there. To be fair, it's been tracking the 9 EMA the last while. It's right on the 9 EMA now, so thank you, Tom Cruise, is all I'm saying. Apparently, Top Gun has broken all kinds of box office hits this weekend. Memorial Day weekend, because it was a long weekend over the in America as well. I am puzzled. I'm always puzzled. Just waiting to see which way this drops. It's going to move up because we've got on the 5 minute, we've got a big topping tail candle there. So just wanting to see it move up and break that. Well, wait to see which way the market takes it. Don't just hop in and hope for the best. Wait for the right entry. If it's down at a support level, it could be a good time to get in with a tight risk. But don't just jump in because it's been moving pre-market. You might get quite a lot of traders that aren't trade. Because it was moving on Friday, they've held it over the long weekend and they'll take profit. So it might sell off at the open. Just remember that. Move up above the $0.50. If it moves back up above the $0.50, that could be a good entry. Okay, you've got the 9 EMA there at 1640 acting as support, 10 cents below the $0.50. So if you get in just above the $0.50, it's 1651 or something like that. Not financial advice. I'm not giving stock picks or signals. Just giving you my opinion. It means you've got a tight risk. You've got a 10-cent risk. And if it breaks that 9 EMA, then you just get out. We found any El Pudo, any decent trades so far? Well, AMC is going my way at the moment. Waiting for any kind of change in sentiment though. Amazon, long term, it's always been a good stock. The thing is, people think Amazon is this delivery company that will deliver your shopping for you, and it's not. It's a data company. It's a tech company. That's correct. 2:30 my time. We've got an hour to the market open. So I'll be getting out at break even here if it drops any further. Yeah, there we go. Still in for 2,500. See if it bounces on this 20 EMA. Look like it. Get out there. Okay. Yeah, but I've said this all the time. Essentially, what they're doing with them is they're making Amazon affordable to more people. They're not actually devaluing the company at all. They're not trying to add more liquidity to the market. Well, it kind of does add more liquidity to the market in reality, because more people can trade Amazon shares. So it just makes Amazon a lot more affordable to, you know, Joe Sixpack down the street. And Amazon's got a great reputation as one of these buy and hold stocks. So the only thing I can see with the stock split is you might see a little bit of a sell-off, people reading into it the wrong things, but I can only see good things from a stock split. So it basically makes it, your average Joe public will be able to buy Amazon and hold. And that's what most people do with Amazon. So I personally think Amazon, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I actually think that I'm bullish on Amazon, and I think it will be a good thing for them, and it'll come good. Okay, so 4,800, not a bad start to the day. Well, that's called market spreads, El Primo, which is why I always use limit orders, because brokers can get away with doing that. If you send a market order and it's not a direct access market order, you're sending it through your broker, and they're obliged to give you their best possible price available. So that could be anything. And which is why you get a lot of slippage with market orders. So I always send limit orders so that either I'm holding it or I don't get filled. I get a good price or I don't get filled. Right, let's have a look. Where are we? AMC 12% up on the day. CTT's not got great volume, but it's moving up on rumours of a merger. Houston American popped up, kind of faded. Indonesian Energy popped up, kind of faded. And Servco popped up, kind of faded. Low volume. GME, low volume at the minute. The wider markets, so down on the day. So this is the previous day's Friday's close. So S&P 500 is down on the day at the moment, 0.75%. I don't know why I'm feeling quite bullish on the wider markets today. I feel like, yeah, they're down at the moment, but I think we'll rally after the bell. If you look at it on the 60-minute, You can see where we've come from. We had this inverted head and shoulders there, and it's just rallied up. So I think this week could be a decent week for the wider markets. This is the Nasdaq, by the way. Yeah, I've had that with I had that with which eToro. When I first started trading and I used eToro, I had that a couple of times. They gave me really crap fills. Really, I mind saying that I've had crap fills on here when I've delivered market orders, and never happy when I really get a rubbish fill. So Mullen Automotive might have a rally today. They've got they've just announced solid state polymer battery test results. Let's have a look at Mullen. Yeah, there you go. Market reacting to Mullen Autos, Mullen Automotive. That's based on those battery test results. So it's now back above $1. So few people keep asking me about Mullen. It's a small, lower price stock. Those that were talking about Sega, this is Sega at the moment. Put it on the 15-minute chart. You can see it moved up really nicely last week, but it's selling off at the moment. So could it come back? Yes, it could. I mean, if we just look at this on a wider time frame, this is what happened. So I sold it last week. I think it was on this day, and got in short and sold it. Or was it this day? I can't remember. Wednesday last week, someone tells me. So I sold it short, made some money on it, and then it's rallied and come back. Is this looking like strong rally type chart? Not really. It's looking a little bit weak for a sell-off, but it could come back toward after the bell. It could come back and rally, or red to green, if you will. There's a possibility. I'm not saying it will, but there is a possibility. There's always a possibility. Yeah, I saw that, Zach. As much as I'd say I'd like to make money just by investing in the pump on the energy sector, it kind of makes me a little bit sad at the same time, because we're all going to be paying for it at the pump. Well, you can see right now the Houston American, it popped up this morning just after 7 a.m. and then it's been selling off. So I watched this move, and I can't trade till 7:30. So I watched this move, and it all happened, and I couldn't trade till 7:30. By which time it was starting to consolidate. I'd missed the move, and I'm like, what a great move. I mean, a good entry would have been here for this little move up. You could have got a good 20-30 cents there. That was on Houston. Indonesian energy spreads are a little bit, actually they're only 5 cents at the minute, but normally the spreads were about 15 cents earlier. So just be careful with Indonesian. It's a very spready stock normally. And Servco, currently 7-cent spreads, low volume, but all the energy stocks did that earlier. CTT, low volume now, news of a merger. So really the only thing that's been reliable to trade this morning so far has been AMC that I've seen. if I could have traded a bit earlier, then Houston American probably would have been a good stock to trade. There was some really clean entries there, but the move was over by the time I got it. By the time I was able to trade. This one is AMC that I'm looking at right now. Dead-eye. Yeah, true. Well, we'll see at the open. I think we've got energy stocks just consolidating at the moment. I want AMC to hold this whole dollar level. Got the VWAP just under it at 1590. So watching for confirmation on AMC on the 2-minute chart. It's really saying 1620, well, 1623 to be precise, as the next entry at the moment. This one's saying 1616, so oh, you've been holding over the weekend, Zach. You did a bit of a swing trade over a dirty swing trade over the weekend there, yeah? Oil's on the way up. So all the energy stocks are moving today. So IMPP, that's this one. Look at it on the 15, you can see. Had a nice move on Friday, which is when you would have got in, but it's been up as high as 67. Up to 67 cents. You got in at 49, you're doing well. If you got in at Houston American at 367 on Friday, like I say, you're doing well. It's up at 490s right now. It's pulled back some from the high of what's the high? 43, 543. Oh, energy. So at the moment, you've got AMC and GME trying to continue with the rally from last week. We've got energy stocks, so that I've just been talking about. And then we've got crypto mining stocks are moving as well. So Hive, Riot, Mara, etc. And then we've got Catchmark, which isn't moving on great volume at the moment. So there's not a lot else moving at this moment in time. That's not to say that that's not going to change. Gen 1 sells Geotrack to Spire Technologies in a 13 million transaction. Have a look at the chart. Okay, so that's an interesting chart. It made its announcement of that sale, popped up. Now it's below the VWAP, so relative volume, high relative volume, 20 to 1. the SPY, the S&P 500. Let me have a quick look at Bitcoin. So that's above 31,000 right now, which is very bullish at the moment. Given where we've been at, this consolidating, we've had this consolidating range between kind of 28,500 and 31,000 for quite some time now on Bitcoin, for 2 weeks since that initial plunge to 25,000. So Bitcoin is looking quite bullish right now, as far as I'm concerned. We've had a little bit of a breakout, and we're at $31,500 for a Bitcoin. So back up at that previous resistance level before the huge Terra Luna plunge earlier in the month. So the resistance level we had back on the 9th, 10th, 11th of May was that 32,000 level. Now we just tapped it briefly yesterday afternoon. We tapped it briefly, and we've been holding since then. So we're just coiling right under 32,000. And I did say last week that the key level here is 32,000. If we can break 32,000 and hold it then as support, then there's potential to go on another bit of a bull run. Maybe not a long bull run, but we can move to the upside and retest the $35,000-$40,000 level with Bitcoin. And of course, if Bitcoin moves like that, the rest of the market will move like that as well. Ethereum it tapped the $2,000 level, but it's now 1960s. So the altcoins will be making similar moves to Bitcoin in sympathy. So that's why you've got stocks moving in the crypto mining space. On what time frame there, El Puno? Depends what time frame you're looking at on the SPY. Looking at on the daily. Yeah, absolutely. So look at it on the daily. You've got a potential double bottom here from earlier, but I think there was on the hourly. So I'll zoom out. What I spotted last week on the hourly was this lovely inverted head and shoulders, and we've had this rally since. So if you look at it on the 60-minute, this supposed double bottom that we had here, not quite, but we got a nice inverted head and shoulders move up. So, and that was the bottom. That was the head was the absolute bottom. It was the absolute floor from last week. So yeah, I called that one right. I'm getting good at spotting these inverted head and shoulders. I'm good at trading those ones lately. Not saying I'm the best trader on the internet. Probably top 3, but still room to improve. There's always room to improve. AMC now, I can't believe that sold off so much. After that nice little rally up, it's now down below the VWAP. I'll get rid of all these lines. In the I can look at it on a bigger time frame. It's not as bad. And this is why intraday technical analysis is important. What you see pre-market, what you see in any given hour might not be relevant 2 hours later. So this was looking very bullish. If you look at it on the 5-minute chart, it's looking very bullish as we moved up. And we reached, and we got up to kind of 1650s, and it just died a death after that. And I did say on the 5-minute, I didn't like this topping tail. And then we got out this candle, made a new low. So always good exit. You can always find good exit indicators. You just got to heed them. If you don't heed your exit indicators, that's when you lose money. If you can be mistaken with the exit indicators, but what's the worst that can happen? If you heed an exit indicator and it doesn't come true, the worst that can happen is it moves back to the upside. You can re-enter, not a problem. But if you don't heed your exit indicators, you're going to lose money. So if you see an exit indicator, even how flimsy it is, even if you don't exit your full position, take some profit, take half your position off, if nothing else. Just reduce your size, whatever size you're in. Just heed those exit indicators. I made a stupid mistake last week on one where I'm calling out in the stream. I'm like, look, there's the topping tail doji sign a reversal. There's the devil horns on the 2-minute that sign a reversal. And what did I do? I went long. I'm thinking to myself as I took the trade, I'm thinking, why did I just do that? I just called out on two different time frames, two distinct reversal indicators, which are telling me, right, time to exit your trade for a profit. And I went long, and lo and behold, it sold off. I was able to get out. Granted, I was able to get out for a small loss, but it was like kick yourself moment. It's Tony, you've just spotted, you just called out those exit indicators. You're not heeding them. Well, why not? You're an idiot. Volume there, yeah. HUSA American, is it moving back up again? Back above the VWAP, so nice little move up there. What's the spread on this? No, we're all right. Nice enough spreads. So we've got the energy stocks, and this is one of them, HUSA American Energy. We've got the likes of Indonesian Energy, IMPP, so the Imperial Petroleum, Marine Petroleum, a lot of the energy stocks or oil stocks, if you will. XOM, the big one, some mobile, have all moved up pre-market. Look at this on the daily, it's looking very strong on the daily. Exxon Mobil. So what do you guys think? What do you think is going to be worth trading today? Will the oil price break 120? How far will it go? Which stocks are you going to be trading today? The meme stocks like AMC after Top Gun weekend, or GME, which will be trading in sympathy, probably not as volatile. Will you be trading the energy stocks with the price of oil rising? Will you be trading the crypto mining stocks with Bitcoin moving up. Let me know what your thoughts are on the markets today. Will the markets continue to rally after last week? Will we get a pullback? Will we get a sell-off? Let me know your thoughts in the chat, guys. Whilst we're looking for some more profits. Good luck with Houston American, Indonesian Energy, and Servco, anything like that. If oil breaks 120, it could go much higher. Just saying. And I don't use my car that much, I'm being honest. Yeah, Jan Warner is an interesting and that's moving up quite well, but since its initial pop up, it's kind of ranging sideways around the 350 level. Interesting to see what happens with this. Let's have a look at the key data. Obviously, we've talked about the catalyst a little bit earlier, but it's a very short float, It's a very small float, should I say, rather than mixing the terminologies, because if I say short float, people think it's heavily shorted. No, it's a small float, 2.3 million shares in the float. So, doesn't normally move much at all. The relative volume is kind of huge, 1.8 million shares, so it's almost recycled its float. It normally trades 50,000 shares a day, so that's Jan 1. Oh, AMC having a little bit of a bounce. Not. I want to see it back above the VWAP before I try it again. What can I make 200 bucks on? Get over that 5,000 threshold. Let's just see what is my trade P&L on my TraderView stats at the moment for the month of May. So 4 green days last week, 4 good green days last week. Man, you had 4 green days the week before as well, but have a look. Oh, I'm better off than I thought I was. 4,000, so 3,989 and 93 cents in the hole. So we're green on the month. Trade profit and loss. That doesn't take into account the commissions and charges, though. That's the thing. So that's the actual trade profit and loss. We were 16,700 in the hole. So that will take us to 12,000, just under 12,000 in the hole on the month net. So we need to find a $12,000 worth of profit today, additional profit today. So if I can have a 16k, 17k day today, 20k day would be good. If I can have a 150k day today, that would be really good. Yeah, not very well. I was talking about Molineux. I was showing it early because it had had that good catalyst around the battery testing news. Polymer batteries. Hey James. To be honest, I'm feeling good about this week. I think the long weekend was good for me, regardless of actually the football went. I wasn't too. I thought I'd be a lot more upset, but I wasn't based on the performance. We just didn't stick it in the back of the net, and that wasn't through design. I think they had He-Man in goal, which was fantastic. But before that, I was already kind of half cut when we got to that game, what with the delay, and I'd been watching the Rugby Union Cup final, which is the team that I follow, the local team, Leinster, lost in the dying seconds of that. They lost out to a French side, so that didn't go very well. But before that, the Rugby League Cup final, which was my team that I follow on the Rugby League sports, they won that one again in the last couple of minutes. So it was interesting Saturday's worth of sport. But then I had 2 days to get over it. So yeah, I'm in a good mood today. No, I agree with you on that one. Zach, Houston American, if it breaks 520 again, we've got this resistance level at 522 is the high of this resistance lump here. We've got 520 is resistance and support already today. The high of day today so far is 543. So really, I would say if you look at the quarter, half, and whole dollar levels, so the resistance area here is 525. Plus 520, it spiked above that and came back down. I would say the real resistance is 525. And then you've got 550 and the high of days 543. So the real resistance there is 550. It's the half dollar and the quarter dollars. That's what I did. That's what I did last month, there, Zach. And unfortunately, this month I had to cancel my withdrawal from last month. The first day, I pretty much almost blew up the account. So I had to cancel last month's profit withdrawal to fund this account. And it's taken me pretty much the whole month, because then we had another drawdown at the end of that same week. So it's taken me pretty much the whole month to recover the drawdown. I've recovered the drawdown based on today's numbers as they stand today, but then all the commissions and charges that come after that are essentially what's killing me. Oh, Jan made a little bit of a move up. I can smell food. Making me hungry. AMC's moving down again. I need something to put my belly rumbling, so I'll be back in a sec. Still talk. a pint of sewage water. And some junk food. We'll have a Cho coming asking for some of this in a second, but she's not allowed because, and this is why I don't believe in God, and I don't want to make this a political stream, but if there is a God, why did he make chocolate kill dogs? It's just not fair. $4.15 will be a good entry on this one now, according to the 2-minute chart. My dog struggles to eat chicken and it sets her stomach off, so I'm certainly not going to be giving her chocolate. Won't care how small of a piece. Seeger's down at 12.02 right now. Is that help him though? Seeger's down at 12.02. Yeah. She gets hot spots if she has chicken. She can eat duck, go figure. She can eat duck, but she can't eat chicken. Jan 1 is currently 75%. It's been, at the peak, it was 80% up on the day. And this is just pre-market. Yeah, she is quackers, that's for sure. She hurt her paw yesterday, so she's limping like an invalid at the moment. And she's milking it for all it's worth. And then she saw her little floofy friend this morning when I heard her out for a walk. And she moved, I'm like, she's taking the piss. She ran across the street to her little friend. And I'm like, well, you were limping and couldn't move your paw. I've been having to carry her and things. She's milking the injury for all it's worth, and yet when she wants to go and see her little friend, oh, there is no injury anymore. I'm okay now. And then as soon as the friend gets parted off, but for their little walk, the limp mysteriously comes back. Like, I don't know about daft dog, but funny, that's for sure. Sly, what she is. That's AMC now. We're going to farm in a bit of a 5-minute flat top. this level, 485 I think it is, 483, or 1583, just 5 minute flat top. And moving up again. How long have we got? 20 minutes to the bell. I'd say 4:15 is the would have been a good entry. And it's extended like this. Don't chase it. Wait for an entry. Wait for a pullback. Keep us informed about the oil there, Zach. Might have larger ramifications. Watching this for a break of high, for a new high. We got in there for the new high. Buy high and sell higher. That's kind of my strategy. Just to start a position for 2,500 shares. Yeah, absolutely, Zach. Knock-on effect, if you will. Lock in some of those profits. Well, that was the $200 I was looking for. Got 5 out of it. Nice. So we're in for 2,500 shares here at the moment. Like I say, just to start before the bell. I started that with AMC, ended up with 10,000 shares at one stage. a bit of resistance at the whole dollar level. So this breaks 80, I'll come back after. 480 on the 2 minute. So first candle to break a new high, break a new low is when I'm out. Well, it seems to be coiling under that level there, Zach. No doubt when the volume comes into the market that it will break. Whether it holds above 120 is another thing, but I've no doubt it will break. Well, I've never used them there, El Puno, but you know, I've never had any problems with Interactive Brokers or Capital Markets, which are the two brokers that I use for day trading. Is Free Trade one of those commission-free brokers? Yeah, that's why. You get what you pay for, buddy. I'm not trying to sound like... There we go. It broke low. I'm not trying to sound blasé or arrogant or anything, but it's true. You get what you pay for. And there's always a trade-off. Yes, Interactive and or Capital Markets, which are the ones that I use, they cost a bit, quite considerably more than what Free Trade or any eToro or any of the other free platforms. But because I'm an active trader and just the levels that I'm at, it's worth the expense. Well, that's the problem. 2-1-2, they make it back on the spread, so you end up getting. I mean, this is what your man's talking about. Is they're giving him crap fills. If Doji here, 485 is the high of that Doji. $480 on the 2 minute. Yeah, I see that, Flossie. Look, I'd have been happy with 850 before I started. Now I'm ecstatic. We're over $5,000 green on the day. It's not a good sign. Shooting pain in the head. Still waiting for that 485 entry level on the 2 minute. Not had a green candle on the 2 minutes. So I'm looking at multiple time frames, by the way. The high of the previous candle is 484 and on the 2 minute. So if I look at it on the 2 minute, you see what I'm talking about. The high of this is 484. So I'm looking at 485 as my entry, a re-entry. We'll have to keep retesting that 480 level because there is a sell around there. Crypto's not volatile at all at the moment, Alpuno, for being straight up with you. It's been, since the crash, it's been very boring, very stagnant. It's only this last 24 hours that we've actually had a bit of a breakout, and that's why you're getting all these crypto mining stocks that are popping up, you know, Hive and HUT and RIOT, Mara, all those crypto mining stocks are popping up on the back of a, it's not even a rally from Bitcoin, it's just a small breakout. I want to see it, you know, stay above that 32,000 level and then go on. If we can use 32 as a support for a couple of days, break above it and then use it as support for a couple of days, that's quite a bullish scenario. But we've not actually, we broke above it but not actually stayed above it yet. So yeah, well, I've got both of those. I've also got Cardano and Bitcoin as well. My Cardano's actually in the, well, they're all in the red at the moment because I, you know, loaded up last year, but Cardano more, so percentage-wise, Cardano's probably the biggest one that's it's down the most out of all of them at the moment. What have we got here? 5 minutes to the open. I'll just hold off. I won't take any entries. I just need to get some power to see close. Absolutely, I totally agree with that. With XRP at the moment, I mean, it's well beaten up, and it's been there's talk of Ripple doing an IPO shortly after, well, next year, shortly after the court case is resolved as well. And if Ripple does an IPO, I can see that actually making significant gains, and then that will have a knock-on effect in terms of perception with XRP, and that will make significant gains. But you'll get bigger gains with XRP than you will with the Ripple stock, that's for sure. Oh, AMC's making a... Hold on a minute. Am I seeing something that... Am I not seeing something? It's a stretch. Yeah, but I think you'll get bigger gains from XRP than you will from Ripple. It's the Ripple stock when Ripple goes IPO. IPO. So you can buy, obviously you can buy XRP now. You can buy the like I said, pre-IPO stock as well. But you can buy XRP now and at a discount, and all of the projects that are coming down the line on the Ripple network and Jan just broke out. That's what happens when you get distracted. So I have day 503. So I want to see it above $5 now. It's rejected. What was that one? 493. So that was a quick rejection. Back in just a second. I got in. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. By making a move up. Let's have a look at that one. It looks to me like a spy. Trying to above the VWAP. Making a move up towards the. Got me 2 minutes. Trying to make a move up towards the VWAP. That's the S&P 500. We've got Nasdaq's just gone green on the day. It's barely, but green's green. GameStop's down, gone red. Indonesian Energy still below the VWAP, selling off. Servco ranging on very low volume. Houston American, it's below the VWAP, lower volume as well. CTT continuing to ride but on low volume, so Jan is the one to watch at the moment. And we've got just under a minute left till the bell, and you will hear the bell. Got it? All set. You will hear the nicey bell when it's time. $20 seconds. Gonna change my scanners over right now to the regular market. There we go. There's the bell. See Jan breaking $5 before I get in right now. Tesla's up at 770, 775. Sega's still selling off, down at 1160s. AMC going red before it does anything. 1560s. Let's see what happens. Tesla testing 780. What's moving aside from Tesla? AMC trying to come back up. 1610 is the level that you want to watch. That's the opening range high at the moment. Yeah, okay, well, I'm just going to sit back and wait for something to decide to move. Figured Jan might have moved out of the gates. It was a lovely gap ready to go, but no, it didn't. Gap and crap. Look at Sega. So this is, look at it on the 15-minute though, so it's just continuing to sell now. Down at the 200 EMA, so it really needs to bounce here. Otherwise, it's just going to absolute capitulate. Houston American. That's a lovely looking flag, but doesn't seem to be reacting in the way that you would expect it to. The 15-minute. Let's look back at the 1 minute. Indonesian Energy. No. AMC, what are you doing? AMC. Having a bit of a sell-off. Let's go back to Jan for now. Until we get something hitting the scanners. I've not got my halt resumes and day high sessions and stuff on my scanners yet. What's happening with Geovax? Wow. Geovax just poofed out, punted out of the gates. Look for 215. If you like these low price stocks, look for 215 on Geovax. If it continues to move up, that's the current opening range high. It's 214, so look for 215. wonder if anyone's got Benzinga, if the signals are working, because mine don't seem to be working at the moment. The scanners are working fine, but I'm trying to get the signals to work. Let's see. I thought this might be a bit more volatile, to be honest. It's just ranging sideways, so still looking at $5 as the key level. That really didn't do anything. Catch mark. Houston American moved up. $5 now. Anybody seeing anything that I'm not seeing? No, that's not it. No, nothing really. I'm just kind of trying to find something worth trading right now. There isn't anything. Shortable. Huge amount, but well, what a boring open. What a really boring open. AMC selling off, the SPY selling off, the wider market selling off, Jan moving sideways, Tesla dumping, and it's 754, 750s. I got my signals to work. Well, looks like I did well to get my trades in early. Well, I would trade my strategy if there was something to trade, but there's nothing to trade right now. I'll give it till another 20 minutes, and then maybe look at shorting something. Sega's still selling off. Let me have a quick shift. Yeah, pretty much. -15-minute 200 EMA didn't support it. this is fun. I just sat here watching the market vomit, it looks like. What is this? This is us wanting to do some stock market trading, but not actually having the stocks to trade. Oh, hang on a minute. Is Jan making a move to the upside? No, it's still just sideways. Tesla, I'm not liking. That's Tesla. But then again, that's just an exaggerated version of the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ. So we're having a bit of a sell-off. Start the day. Let's hope for red to green. What's a trade? So we're trading stocks and shares. We're day trading. So that's what this channel is all about, glitching. This channel is all about trading the stock market. Ideally making money. Well, we've made over $5,000 this morning already. So, well, today. So we can't complain that there's not enough action. But we normally get a lot more action at market open, which was a little over 10 minutes ago. So we're just waiting for something to move. Indonesian energy is moving up. Nice. But the spreads are horrible. Spreads are like 15, 20 cents. Ugh. Horrible, horrible spreads on Indonesian energy. Be very careful if you're thinking of trading Indonesian energy. Spreads will kill you. Houston American, spreads are only 3 cents. It's moving in the same direction, so could be a much easier stock to trade. And Servco, lower price, again moving in the same direction. 3-4 cents the spread, so very similar to Houston American, but you're not getting the range. So probably Houston American is a better stock to trade at the moment. Let's have a look at Marine Petroleum. Oh, we've just not got the volume on Marine Petroleum to be able to trade it. Nine energy moving up again. It's not great volume. Just remember, we want the volume. We need the volume. So it's important that we go where the volume is, and that's Houston American at the moment. What do you get for that? So basically, you buy low and sell high, and you pocket the difference. It's very similar to, you know, having a market on the down the East Kent Road. You buy stocks at a certain price, and as they move up, you sell them at a higher price, and then you pocket the difference as profit. Or you can do what's known as shorting, in which case you sell if it's moving downwards, the price is moving down. You can borrow shares from your broker, and you can sell them to somebody at a price, and as it moves down, you can buy them for lower, and that's called covering your position, and the difference you can pocket for profit. And if it goes against you, you end up making a loss. IMPP, I'll have a look for you. So IMPP 65 target, I think I'll be surprised if it doesn't get above 65. I'll probably be closer to 67, 68. The way things are moving at the moment. But 65, if as a conservative target, it's only 1 more cent. Yeah, why not? Oh, entry. Well, I would say absolutely. The opening range high is 64. So naturally, as it breaks the opening range high, the next one is 65. So day of the week, because with yesterday being Memorial Day, there was no trading yesterday. It's the first trading day of the week. A lot of people will be holding positions over the long weekend. The markets opened. If the positions were up, which a lot of them were, or if the positions were down on where it finished, which a lot of them were, then you might just want to protect the profits, or take profits, or whatever it is. So it's not unusual to get an initial sell-off at the open on the first day of the week, usually on a Monday, a bit of a downwards pullback after the pre-market, and then rally in the afternoon. So that's what I'm hoping will happen on the wider market. The volume in AMC's just died right off. It's 28 million today, but granted, but it's still GME sold right off. Relatively speaking, not huge volume during the market. Most of the volume was that opening two candles. 1.8 million on those opening two candles, and now we're kind of down at around right now on this 5-minute candle volume, 3 million over 5 minutes. It's nothing to do with me at all, Anthony. If it's got a black background on the profile, it's not me. There's only one other with a white background on profile, and that's not me either. But I deliberately change my profile every now and again to stop these wankers from impersonating me and trying to scam people. So just be careful. If I don't reach out to anybody directly, I tell you to reach out to me. So for anybody in the chat, if you're following me and somebody tries to contact you, it's not me. If you want to get hold of me, in my link tree, you've got my email there. You can email me directly and I'll respond directly to you. That's not a problem. But I will never reach out to you directly trying to get you to follow somebody else or join a Discord or whatever. I'm not going to do that. There's about a dozen Hustle with Tonys that are trying to impersonate me on the... and I've blocked them all. I encourage you to do the same. I've reported them all too, but they're still there. So go figure, TikTok. You remove my videos for not infringing on any community guidelines, but you won't remove these profiles that are clearly impersonating me. To be fair, Anthony, that's the closest one, and what I find funny about that, I don't know what they're trying to get out of it, because they've even copied the same link, which links to my link tree. So I don't know what they're trying to get out of it, but they're actually sending traffic to my link tree. Go figure. But it's not me. Well, I'm a little bit disappointed in today's open, if I'm being completely honest with everybody. I thought we might get a bit more volatility. Just not enough volatility. It's not enough volume. Where we're getting volatility, there's no volume, and where we're getting the volume, there's no volatility. So Houston American is probably the best one at the moment. To break highs, come on. Do as you're told. Well, we went for 5,000 shares. We're going to give it 5 cents. We're risking $250 on this. Looking to make 10 cents though. There we go. That's what we wanted. Take half off. I can move that up. That's a nice quick $500. Nice. Thank you very much. And we'll let that ride for 2,500 shares. Well, absolutely. I must be doing something right if people are trying to impersonate me. You know, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. That's what they say, isn't it? And Mullen's having a good day today because of their battery test results. Just gonna. Added. Break even is now 544, so put it up to 545. Interesting. Just watching this. Our entry is 544 for 5,000. We've got 5,000 shares in there with an average cost of 544, and I just priced a stop at 545 for 2,500 shares. I'll get out for the full amount if it breaks that. I've already just made $375 on this trade already, so it's a profitable trade right now. Just pulling back off the high. Maybe we should consider scalping with these ones. Still got 2,500 in there. Stop me out for half the position. I'm just holding, and I'll get out for break even for the rest if it doesn't bounce. Okay, so it's moving up. Added back that 2,500 that you stopped me out on. 550 is our stop now, so I'll just Add that there. See this right up. Stop at 550. A scratch on this trade, and if it stops me, I need to look for something else. So stopped out again. So that was a scratch on the second half of that trade. So, you know, 325 bucks for that trade. I don't mind that at all. Takes me to $6,000 on the day. Happy days. Today's a good day. Every trade we've taken is profitable so far. This is throwback to before May. This is what it was like almost every day when, well, not every day, but almost every day before May came along. So I'll have a look at Vikram, I'll have a look at Mullen for you right now and show you what's going on with it. It's, like I say, having a good day. If you look at it on the 15-minute chart where you can see the full action. They announced their test results with the polymer batteries just after 8 o'clock, and this is what happened. It's just spiked. It's now up at, it was about 97 cents at the time. It's now 140s, 141. So it's 45% up on the day, Mullen. It's having a good day today. If you like those low price stocks, it's having a good day. Where's AMC? Sold right off. Elevation. No. That's moved 13%. Doesn't look like it to me. There you go. Yeah, the market's a bit quiet today, I've got to say, guys. So we're half an hour in. It seems like we've been trading for a lot longer. Well, I have, because I've traded pre-market, but you know what I'm getting at, yeah? You know what I'm trying to say. It just seems like there's been nothing happening. I mean, if I look at the wider market, SPY, it's trying to come back. NASDAQ, the same pattern. So we're getting this descending highs, ascending lows. So this is a narrowing pennant. Just about to break through the low of that trend. That's the NASDAQ selling. Not good. Well, let's have a look at, I'll take a quick look at Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the crypto market. What's happening with Bitcoin? Well, this is what's happening with Bitcoin right now. So this is on the hourly. So Bitcoin is currently up at 31.3. Did break over, as you can see, it did break over yesterday. It broke over 32,000, but it's kind of just ranging sideways since then. This little breakout from this continued chop down here. So that's why this little breakout is why the crypto mining stocks are having a good day today. First and foremost, let's see it's Bitcoin stay above. If it stays above 31,000, that's the first thing. As you can see, it's on a downwards turn right now. If I put it on the 15-minute, probably see a bit more. So you can see it's had this support level at 31.4, resistance up at 31.8, and it's just broke through that now. So I want to see this hold above 31 and then move to the upside. Well, that's Bitcoin. That's the crypto market. I want to show him Bitcoin because pretty much everything else following suit. Well, look, 6k, and they got, and that gets me green on the month in terms of trade profit. But after all the commissions and transaction charges and stuff, I've actually made a loss this month, a small loss so far. But made probably half of that back today, which is good. Hardy. My opinion on the Bitcoin crash, no, it was market manipulation. It was complete market manipulation. So the rumors are that it was one of the big hedge funds deliberately targeted, because most stable coins hold cash, whereas Terra didn't. And as a result of that, what they used to do is they would mint more Luna to hold the peg to the dollar. So they were very, the Terra and Luna were very closely interlinked. So they would mint more and then they would burn it, and etc. etc. So they would increase liquidity to maintain the peg to the dollar. Now, what the guys, from what I hear, it was a very famous hedge fund and market maker that conspired to do this. They bought a whole bunch of Terra. They borrowed a whole bunch of Bitcoin, i.e. shorting it to short it. Then they bought a whole bunch of Terra for Bitcoin, and then they sold it, which meant that there wasn't enough liquidity in Luna, and they didn't have enough Bitcoin to maintain the peg, and it all just came crashing down. There was this whole snowball effect. So it lost its peg to the dollar. As soon as it lost its peg to the dollar, everybody else started selling it, which, you know, caused this. It's almost like a bank run, if you will. And the guys that were, and that in itself had a knock-on effect with the Bitcoin, which was originally borrowed. And they were shorting the Bitcoin, so they were able to then buy the Bitcoin back at a discount at like 25, 26,000 and make billions. I mean, literally make billions on it. So, yeah, the volumes just died off. Yeah, the crypto crash. So, and you've got your man who's in charge of Luna. He's running around like a headless chicken right now, trying to Luna 2.0. We'll give free Luna 2.0 to, and like, look, you've lost all credibility. It's dead. It's gone. You know, and even I thought, you know what? While I was having after I had a glass of wine over the weekend a couple of weeks back, and I thought, you know what? Instead of ordering a pizza, I'm just gonna take that 25 quid that I would spend on pizza and sides and buy Luna with it, just in case. And that $25 is not worth a cent now. So it's worth fractions of a cent. So, and that's in the space of the last 2 weeks or whatever it was since I bought it. But that $25, I would have eaten it anyway. I would have just turned it into carbs. So it didn't cost me anything in the long run. But I thought, you know, why not? And I, you know, like 70 odd thousand Luna tokens that are worthless. Is Jan done? Michael wants to know, is Jan done for the day? Well, the volume's just dried up. So let's look at Jan again right now. So it's in a downwards trend. It's below the VWAP. And the volume's dried up. So until the volume picks up, yes, is the answer to that. It needs to get back above the VWAP and the volume needs to increase. We need to get regular candles above 250,000 shares being traded on the 1 minute. It needs to be traded kind of 250,000 shares a minute at least for this to pick up. It needs to get back above 450 and then we can start talking again. Otherwise, it's just going to probably get rejected at the VWAP at the 450 and then keep selling off. So is Jan done? Right now, yes. Although there is argument to say that this is a double bottom. But we want to see the volume coming in. There's 250,000 level there. So if we're getting more than 250,000 shares traded a minute, we could get the volume to get it back over 450. And if it gets back above 450 and above the VWAP, it may come back. It might well be worth having another look at, but it needs to be above the VWAP. As long as it stays below, it's downwards trending. And that's the good thing about the VWAP, is it is a good intraday indicator, and of trend indicator. If your candles if the candle price action is taking place below the VWAP, it means it's in a downwards trending direction. If they're all taking place above the VWAP, it's upwards trending. And if you're getting the candles forming and the ranging either side of the VWAP, it's just trending sideways. It's just ranging, not even trending, it's just ranging sideways. So the markets are pretty much sold off. Eager's done. So this is Sega. What is it with my, here we go. So this is sideways, really. Nice little move up there, but again, it really needs to be above the VWAP. It's just about to do that, and it's above 12. So maybe there's an argument on the 5 minute of a double bottom here and here. It's a very loose argument, probably a bit more relevant to say it on the 2 minute, but I'm not confident Sega's going to make a comeback. XRP at 30 cents is a buy, absolutely. It's a discount. It is a discount, and I'll be taking some profits. Not that I've made a lot of profits, but I'll be able to take last month's profits this month now. So I've got over, as it stands right now, I've got about $53,000 of equity on this account. So I'll be able to take about 25k out this month, and leaves me with about 28k to trade with for June. Well, I've been holding XRP a long time, and I've been bullish. I've been a bit frustrated with it, and I was actually considering cashing it in when this Ripple lawsuit kept getting pushed back, and now it's into kind of Q1, probably the end of Q1 next year before we even get any deliberations on that. But patience is the virtue, as they say. Even Warren Buffett said that the stock market is an instrument for the impatient man to give his money to the patient man. So I'll just hold. I'll continue to hold. Now, this is bullish because we've just made a new high on the hourly time frame on Sega. On the 60-minute time frame, we've just broke a new high. We're pulling back on it a little bit, but we just broke a new high. So if we can get back above that 1220, could be sign of a change. Let's have a look at the Nasdaq. That's still bearish. Well, this isn't bearish as such on the 60-minute time frame. We're still green candle. We've not had a red candle on the 60-minute yet. Have a look at on 50. So we've had a couple of red candles on the 15 and a doji, so that's not looking promising. So yeah, that's looking a bit weak. So that's probably not coming back. There's no need to be barking at the neighbours. Limp along. Well, it's been a quiet open. I think I'm just going to take my 6k and hold it for the day. What a non-event May was. All that trading for practically nothing, no gain. Well, at least we're finishing pretty much breaking, or slightly down because of transaction charges, but we've pretty much recovered our drawdown on May, which is a small win. Let's call it a small win. Yeah, and going back to what you were saying, Michael, is Jan done for today? I think May is done for today, let alone Jan. Tesla trying to make a comeback. My data seems a little bit delayed on the when I'm switching charts at the moment. I don't know what's causing that. Maybe it's the connection. Oh well. Let me know, guys. Let me know in the chat. Would you like me to do a power hour stream this evening? Is it worth me doing a power hour stream for the last trading day of the year, or I'm probably going to end this stream in the next 15 minutes if I'm being completely transparent? There's not a lot moving at the moment, so good end to the month, Jack. Decent. I'm happy with this. I didn't expect to get 100 totally green on the month. I didn't expect to have a 15k day today, but I'm happy with where we finished, because that takes me green on the month from a trade profit and loss point of view. So I'm going to look at that as a win. And like, had to pay for access to the markets, and that's what the charges and transaction fees were. So I'll call it a break even. I've got to put some kind of positive spin on it, haven't I? At least try and put some kind of positive spin on it, because May was a terrible month from day one. On the 2nd of May, I think it was, to it was just, let's go back to my trader view, opposed to trading view. So let's pull this across so that we can all have a laugh at Tony's performance on the month. Okay, so this was before today's gains, and yeah, so 4,000 in the hole before we started today. We've done 6,000, so this is based on transaction that didn't take into account transaction fees like commissions, charges, etc. But we had $4,000 losses on May before today, so we've made that back and a little bit besides. So that's trade profit and loss. My average winning trade was substantially lower than my average losing trade, but that's heavily skewed down to the fact that I had some big losses at the beginning of the month. I think the biggest loss was over $28,000. But this is where I start looking. This is where I start looking good, because my accuracy was still 2-to-1 in my favor. So I can look at my trading across the month, and there are certain days where I know that I was swinging when I shouldn't have been. I know I saw the mistakes that I was making, but my stock selection was on point. My trade selection was on point to the point where my accuracy is 2-to-1. It's 63% of my trades were winning trades. It's just that those two big losing trades at the beginning of the month offset that. So I ended up losing more money than I made. Well, actually, I'm kind of break even on the trade profit and loss. So yeah, if I look at that, largest gain was 16,500. My largest loss was 18,000 in terms of an individual trade, and that 18,000 loss came on the top of another big loss that I made on the same day. So it was like $29,000 lost on that one day. So yeah, I would say profit factor pretty much break even. So I'm not too disappointed in the final results. I just think it was my own fault for coming into the month and treating trading like I had a big account when I'd already taken the profit out of the account. So I'd taken 35,000 out of the account at the end of last month, and I continued trading like I was trading a $70,000-$80,000 account. So my own fault. You live, you learn. It just does mean that I need to I've still got some way to go in terms of my average daily gain for the year, because I was looking for a 5,000 gain on the year. My average day should have been 5,000. That was my goal at the beginning of the year, and my average daily gain loss is 3,730. So could I get that back to 5,000 by the end of the year? I could. All's not lost. Could still have a 7-figure year, I guess. It's going to be difficult though. We're 5 months in, so I'm more likely to do about 700,000 trade profit, really. Maybe 800,000 trade profit. It's probably realistically what we can expect. But if we trade well from here to the end of the year, there's a chance we can recover and get to that 7-figure number, that magical 7-figure number. There is a chance, and as long as there's a chance, we've got to be optimistic. It depends, so Michael. It depends on how much profits I take at the end of the month. So the way that I work my business is I split it into 3. So at the end of each month, I'll take a third of that is mine to do with as I wish. That's the dividends that I would divvy up. I would keep a third back for the tax man, and then I would reinvest a third. And I'll break that third that I'm reinvesting. I'll break that up in terms of if I'm going to be doing any swing trades. I would put some into my long-term holdings, which are mostly in my SIP, and I'll put some into my crypto holdings. So it usually breaks that. I break the third that I'm reinvesting in what I consider less risky investments to day trade. Over the last 3 months, though, they've actually been more risky. If I just kept it and day traded, I probably would have made more money on those positions, because some of them are S&P stocks and ETFs, and of course the crypto's been very bearish of late. But I've just been dollar cost averaging. I'm not worried about it. And that's the thing, when you talk about investing, long-term investing, value investing, the actual intermediate price doesn't really matter because you're just dollar cost averaging. In the long term, you're going to make gains. So if you look at somebody who started investing in Ethereum in 2017, over the last 5 years, and if they just dollar cost average every month and they bought, say, they bought $500 worth of Ethereum every month from 2017, they'd be millionaires by now. So you think about it in that same context, granted the last 12 months have been quite volatile, but over the course of 5 years, you could invest $500 in you know, cryptos like Ethereum or some of these altcoins, and you continue to dollar cost. If you did it with XRP now, and you invested $500 a month in XRP from now for the next 5 years, who knows where you're going to be? But I dare say you're going to have the compounding effect's going to be absolutely huge. And that's what you've got to do with, you know, dollar cost averaging and value investing. You can't look at the intermediate price. You can't look at the short-term gains or losses. You've got to look at it from the bigger picture, the long-term gains and what you're hoping to achieve. I'll be buying more Bitcoin and Ethereum for sure. I'm buying more XRP for sure. I probably will leave my Cardano the way it is. I probably won't buy any more Cardano for the time being until I see the market's taking an upswing. I've lost more with Cardano than I've gained over the last 12 months. But I'm still bullish on that coin. I still think it's a good coin to invest in. Okay, so how's everyone else finishing the first hour of the market? Are we green? Let me know in the chat. Are you green? Are you red? Are you break even? Have you not taken any trade? Have you taken a trade? Are you paid in paper? Are you in a real account? Let me know how you're performing today. Have you had the good fortunes that I've had, or have you found the markets a bit choppy and they've gone against you? Let me know. Jan is just coiling under the VWAP right now. Let's go back to Jan. Now it's coiling under the VWAP. There's a very poor argument for a double bottom there, but I wouldn't go for that on the 1 minute. Let's see what it looks like on the higher time frames. No, that's not a double bottom. Look on the higher time frames, how this came back down and it found support at the 20 EMA. Interesting. Bounced on the 20 EMA pretty much 3 times on the 5 minute. Okay, Michael, what was your plan with that? So you're in at 455, which is above the VWAP. It's now below the VWAP. What was your original plan? How much wiggle room were you giving it? Because you've already given it kind of 25 cents. Don't know how long you've been in there, what time you got in there, but you've certainly given it 25 cents at least. Or how much was you giving it? What was your risk, your original risk when you got into the trade, Michael? I'm not trying to berate you or anything. I'm just trying to help you out here. Well, Paul, they did, but they did it all pre-market. So that's the thing. So Bitcoin has been falling. It's actually been selling for the last couple of hours, but it popped up overnight, which is why Riot and Mara had their moves pre-market. As the market opened, Bitcoin was in a down, it was moving downwards. So Riot and Mara haven't tracked it from that point of view. But Riot and Mara are up on the day, along with HUT. So HUT is crypto mining stock in your own time. Okay, so this is up 2.5%, but it's sold off pretty much since the open, as you can see. Riot, I remember trading this up at like $40 last year. So again, Riot was up around 7%, and then it's now down. It's sold off at the open. Why? Because Bitcoin has been selling off. Well, whether it's going to hit the high one more time or not, Michael, what you need to be conscious of is managing your risk. And I think we've had this conversation before about mitigating risk. Is once you're in a position, you should have a trade plan. If you're not got a trade plan, what are you doing first and foremost? You need to have a plan. You need to plan your trade ahead of entry. So what you're doing is, as you get in, you might say, okay, well, I'm going to risk 10 cents per share, or I might risk 25 cents per share. It depends on your share size, of course, because the larger the share size, the bigger the bigger losses you will incur if you take a larger risk. But you also need to be looking at, if you got in. So let's go back to Jan, which is what we're talking about. So that the pre-market high. So forget the pre-market high for a moment. The opening range high was 489. So if you're in it for 455, well, let's call it 490 for round numbers. You're looking to gain 35 cents. So if you're thinking, if it tests those highs again, I've made 35 cents. So I should only be risking a maximum of around 17 and a half cents, to 2 to 1. If you're in 455, 17 cents, you should have been out at 430. So as it broke 430, you should have been getting out. It doesn't matter, Michael. It doesn't matter whether you swinging or day trading or what. Swinging is even more important, that you have strong stops in place. And what I would recommend try doing is, when you place the trade, if you're looking for a target, set your stop at half the target. So if you're looking, in this particular case, you're looking for 35 cents, or let's say you're looking for 30 cents, set your stop at 15 cents and forget about it. And then just walk away, make yourself a cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever it is, and then just let it do its thing. You'll either hit your goal or it'll stop you out. Now, you can come back and check on it if you want to, and if you're in profit, you might want to take some profit off the table, or lock some profit in, but don't move your stop. Your stop should stay there. Once you've set your stop, it shouldn't move. The only time it should move is if you want to move it upwards, if you're riding that, if you're riding the profit train. So once you've taken some profit off the table, you want to move your stop to break even. So whatever your entry price was. So at the moment, you might, it might come good for you now. It's 458, 455. So right now is think about what your stop is, as if you've entered at 455 right now. And if you're going to do 15 cents, 440. So you do not want it to go below 440 again. If it goes below 440 before you hit your profit target, you cut your loss. You can always get back in later, but you cut your loss. So now it got to your break even, and now it's reversing. It's I think most of the good moves were pre-market today, from what I can see. Jan, Houston American, AMC for sure. There's not been a lot of movement after the bell rang. The energy stocks didn't really pump like I thought they might do. So if your entry is 455 now, Michael, and you've now got a risk, and you set a stop at 440. So if it's 440, you got it, you get out. You're now looking for a target of 480, or actually 485. But you might want to take some profit at 470 or 475 if it gets there. Just want to say that's just for education purposes. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I just want to clarify that. And I hope you got out there at Michael. I hope you got out there, because now we're down. We went all the way down to 420. So if you got out at 440, you would have saved yourself 20 cents on the share there. And the thing is, it's one of the biggest mistakes people make about trading is looking for how much they can make, looking at how much profit they can make. And no, let's flip that, flip that round and reverse it, as they say. Yeah, exactly, which is why you should have had that stop at 440, as I said. So you flip it around and reverse it. It's not about how much profit you can make, it's how much loss you can prevent. So it's all about protecting your assets. It's all about protecting your equity. If you make a 1% loss or a 2% loss, you can recover from it. If you make a 10% loss or a 20% loss, it's difficult. Think about it. If you got $1,000 in your equity, and I did a video that I published across the board on my social medias over the weekend. I'm not sure if I've done it, if I published it yet on. If not, I'll publish it later on TikTok. But how not to blow up your account. And the big thing is that, let's just say, if you've got $1,000 and you lose 10%, that's 10% you've lost. You're left with $900. So for you to then break even, you've actually got to make a gain of over 11%. It absolutely is, Jack. What I'm saying is, to recover from your losses, if you don't manage your losses in an effective way, you don't manage your risk in an effective way, it makes it more difficult. Just look at me personally, and I'm speaking from personal experience. This month, that I made over $50,000 worth of losses at the beginning of the month, which means I've made no profit this month. I'm break even on the month, effectively. Even though I just made $6,000 today, that goes into the ether because it's a break even. So if you lose 10%, you've got to make 11.1% just to break even. If you lose 25%, you've got to make a 33% gain just to break even. So your gains, percentage gains, have to be a lot bigger than what your percentage losses are just to break even if you don't manage your risk. So a 1 or a 2% loss is worthwhile, which is why your gains need to be bigger than your losses. So always set your target and have your loss at 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 or whatever it is that if you're swing trading, it should be at least 3 to 1. If you're intraday trading like I do, it should be at least 2 to 1. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, Exactly. It's exactly why I'm always saying green is green. It doesn't matter if it's 10 bucks green or 10 grand green. Green is green. Small wins add up, but it's better than a loss because the small losses add up as well. And they all compound. And if you manage your losses and you get small base, what I call base hits, if you think of it from a baseball analogy point of view, is rather than swinging for the fences and trying to get a home run with every trade, you just get onto first base. Then you get onto, the next swing batter comes in, it's second base. You've now got two people on the bases. The next one in, it's on third base. So you've got all the bases loaded, so that when you do finally get a winner, when you do finally get a big winner, you end up making 4 times as much. So it's not about swinging for the fences every time. It's about the base hits will compound, and they will, they'll come good in the long run. If you think I know what I'm talking about, it's because I do, and I can teach you. Just sign up to the community. First link on the link tree. I'm not saying you're going to make 6 grand a day. I'm not even going to say you're going to make 6 grand in a month, because look, I'm a perfect example. I am a profitable trader, and I've got the statistics and the broker statements all published to verify that. And I don't try and hide away from the fact that I lose money. I go through periods where I lose money. I will have losing trades. Every trader has losing trades. Sometimes a trade will get in for the right reasons, great setup, it'll reverse. It can be completely illogical, but that happens. That will always happen, and it always has happened, always will happen. You want to give yourself an edge so that you're only taking the best setups, and more often than not, the trades will go in your favor. You've just seen my statistics there that over 60% of the time, the trade goes in my favor. And that's because I trade, more often than not, I'll take the best setups and I'll let my winners ride. Some people see me taking half of my position off at a high, and then it comes back, and then I'm getting stopped out at break even, or I'm getting stopped out for a small loss. And why did you not take the rest of the position off? Well, the reason for that is, in a hotter market, in this market, I'm getting stopped out a lot more than I would normally do in a hot market. In a hot market, you take your position off at the target, you take half your position off. So if it continues to run, you've still got a piece in there. You're still able to make a bit of profit and continue that. And moreover, it gives you a cushion on the trade so that you can add that back at the next entry or the next add position. You can add back and increase your winnings. And that's what I'm trying to do with every time I get a winner is maximize my winning potential. I want to be taking profits as I'm going, because a lot of the stocks that I'm trading are low flow, low cap stocks, and they can reverse in an instant, which is also why you should be putting stocks in place. I'm probably the worst person to say that, because very often I'll be trading with a mental stock. But you should be putting stocks in place. So if it goes against you, it protects your assets, it protects your equity. If you're in for 1,000 shares and it goes against you for 10 cents, you've lost $100 right there. If you're in for 10,000 shares, you've lost $1,000 right there for 10 cents. If your risk is 15 cents, that's $150 or $1,500 or whatever it is. You need to be protecting your assets. You need to be putting your stop losses in, Michael. Absolutely. So as soon as you've set the trade, set your stop loss. You can always cancel the stop loss and take some profit, or you can add a bit more. So for example, what you'll see me doing is add and take away. So I will enter, let's say I enter 5,000 shares. You'll see me add 2,500 and take it off at pretty much, what's the point in that, you say? Why are you adding to 2,500? Let's say I'm buying at $10 for 5,000 shares, and it goes to $10.50, and I'll add 2,500 shares, making it 7.5, and I'll take them off at the same price. Well, what are you doing there, Tony? Well, I'm actually taking a third of the profit that's already been made. I'm keeping the share size, but I'm taking a third of the profit. What I'm actually doing is I'm moving my average cost up by a third. So that way I'm locking in profits all the time. So constantly locking in profits. And I'm trying to maintain a certain share size if I want to maximize my gains. But by moving my average cost up, I'm then saying, okay, well, my stop is moving up at the same time, because now that I've made a profit on this trade, my stop has to be break even. So if I'm not, if it comes back to where my average cost is, not necessarily where I initially entered, because I've already added to the position and my average cost has gone up. If it comes back to where my average cost is, then I exit. And I exit for break even on that part of the trade. So I might only take a third of the trade in profit, which is okay because it's green, and any green is good. And sometimes that does affect my statistics. It affects the risk versus reward statistics that I've got, because I'm taking profit along the way, and if it reverses, then I'm not getting the full value at the take profit levels. So that sometimes can affect my statistics negatively. But what's really important for me is the accuracy, in terms of I'm getting more winners than I'm getting losers. And I need to turn around for May. My average loser was a lot bigger than my average winner. And across the year, that's not been the case. I've been approximately 3 to 2. I'm not a 2 to 1. I need to get back to 2 to 1 where I was last year. But across the course of the year so far, for 2022, my average winner is approximately 3 to 2 in terms of winners versus losers. That's the ratio, and it needs to be closer to 2 to 1 or better. But you need to be taking profits, and you need to be locking in, cutting your losses early. Taking profits along the way is one thing, or looking for profits and making profits is it's all well and good. But if you make, let's just say you make a 15-cent gain per share on every trade that you that you take. You take 4 trades in the first thing in the morning after the open, and you make 15 cents per share. If you then take another trade and it goes against you, and you hold on to it, and you lose 50 cents per share, you've lost all your gains. And then you add the cost of the transaction charges and commissions and fees or anything like that. If you are subject to them, you've lost half all your gains. So all that time you spent building up that profit in those first 4 trades was wiped out because you didn't have the discipline to cut your loser early, or to stick to the trade plan where you're saying, okay, this is how much risk I'm prepared to put into this particular trade. And really, you don't want to be risking more than 1% of your of your equity. So, for example, if you've got a $5,000 account, you don't want to be risking more than $50 on that trade. If it goes against you for $50, you get out. Well, it doesn't matter if you're just trading the one stock over the course of the same day. You need to break that down in terms of your round trips. When do I get in? When do I get out? Etc. Do I take profit? And every time you made a full trip, so you enter, and then every time you get out, consider that a trade. And then compare that to the next time you get in. And you enter, when do you get out? And you set different. It's a new plan every time. You set different stops and different risk every time you get in. And every time you make a profit, you move the stock to break even. So that the worst case that can happen, once you've made a profit on that particular trade, the worst thing that can happen is it goes against you, and for the second half of the trade, the second portion. So if you're in for 500 shares and you take 250 shares off at your target level, the worst thing that's going to happen if you've moved your stock to break even is you've had a 250 share winner. For the other half of the trade, it's scratch because you get stopped out for break even. and a winner's a winner. So you need to be managing your risk, and at the moment, Michael, you're too proud. And this is a common mistake for most beginner traders, is that we find it difficult. This is what I keep saying about the emotional and psychological element to trading, and why it's the biggest hurdle and biggest obstacle you'll have to overcome as a beginner trader. Nobody, it's human nature. Nobody likes to admit when they're wrong, and least of all to themselves. So when you take it, when you go through justifying taking a trade in the first instance, and providing you're actually doing it properly, not just gambling, you try and justify taking the trade. So you try and get in for a pattern breakout, or a break of resistance, or for whatever reason, a bounce on an EMA or on the VWAP, or whatever, bounce on support. Whatever the reason, you try and justify it logically that this is the reason you got into the trade and it was the right reason. And when it goes against you, you're kind of thinking, well, my stop, I was going to get out at 10 cents. But guess what? There's another support level at 15 cents below. I'm just going to hold it for an extra 5 cents. And before you know it, it flushes past that resistance, that support level, and it's 20 cents down. You're thinking, well, I'm 20 cents down now on the trade. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll add to the trade and average my cost back. So if it gets back to where I originally entered, I'm in profit, because it's going to go back up there. And what happens? It continues to go down, and now you're down for even more. So it's human nature. This is why 95% of people that day trade lose money, because human nature dictates that they make the wrong decisions. They don't want to be wrong, and they don't want to admit when they are wrong. So they can't accept being wrong, so they make the wrong decisions again. And this is why most people lose money. They don't manage the risk effectively. They don't have a strategy to trade, a confirmed, documented, profitable, proven profitable strategy like the ones that I teach, and they don't manage the risk effectively. Either that, or they approach it with a gambling mindset. And then there are certain, to be fair, there are certain financial instruments that, whatever you're trying to do with them, very often it's approaching it with a gambling mindset anyway. The risk is so high. Some people, in fact, very few people are profitable with Forex, but the barrier to entry is so low that people don't mind gambling away $50 or $20 or whatever it is. So with a view that they can make $500. And it's not like poker where you calculate the pot odds. It's not like that. You have to be very disciplined in your approach to day trading. Yeah, it depends. So look at the behavior of the stock before you get in there, Michael. So if you're looking at 10-cent stops, that's great. But when it makes a pullback, for example, if it typically would pull back 20 cents, then why are you putting a stop at 10 cents? You just take half the share size and put a stop at 20 cents instead. And that way, if it does make a pullback, you're more likely to then recover. Likewise, where's the nearest support level? So if you're going to enter for a pattern breakout, if it goes against you, where's the next support level? Is it 10 cents away? Is it 20 cents away? What is the low of the previous candle? So think about it. Put your trade plan in place before you actually take the trade. It might be 10 cents, it might be 15 cents, it might be 25 cents. I've had situations where people are talking to me on the chat and they're saying, well, your risk versus reward is all to cock. And I'm like, why? He said, well, you just risked $3,000 on that trade. It went down $3,000. I said, yeah, I know, because I was risking 50 cents per trade. Yeah, but what's your profit target? And I said, well, I was expecting to get $1 on the trade. So, for example, GameStop I traded last week. If I put a 10-cent stop on GameStop, just the volatility of GameStop is not going to work that way. So a 50-cent stop on GameStop is very tight. So, and with the spreads as well, if you go on to Indonesian energy, when I was trading it earlier in the year, the spreads were like 20, 30 cents. You're not going to put a 10-cent stop on something where the spreads are already 15, 20 cents. But what is Indonesian energy at the moment? The Indonesian energy here, we've got 16-cent spread. So you wouldn't put, and it's only $17 stock. So you wouldn't trade Indonesian energy with a 10-cent stop because the spreads are 15 cents. You know, you've got to factor that in. So straight away with Indonesian energy, the least that I would look at there is a 50 cent stop, because you've got a 15-cent spread, and then if it goes against you, you've then got 35 cents either way. So you might want 25 cents and you've got a 10-cent wiggle room. But with Indonesian energy, because I've traded it so many times, I know that it can be quite rangy on the spreads, and that 15-cent spread could quite easily become 25 and 30-cent spread. So you've got a situation where you buy in and you've got movement on the bid, but then the ask might move like 1 or 2 cents. So it might come down right now. Indonesian energy is 17.55 on the bid, and it was just 17.79, 17.56 on the bid, 17.78 on the ask. So it might come down to 17.75 on the ask, but go down to 17.45 on the bid. And you get stopped out because you've only got that extra 10 cents. So you've got to have a different trade plan depending on the stock that you're trading. You need to have a look at the way, which is why you can't just follow momentum. You need to have a look at the stock. Why do I have 5 time frames of a particular stock open at any given time? Is because I can actually see the way that it's moving, what the price action is, what it's done before, where the support and resistance levels were historically, both on the daily or the hourly levels, and I can actually look at the patterns for breaking out for trading. So you need to have multiple time frames to reference. You actually need to look at the time and sales ticker to see what's happening there. You need to look at the level 1 in terms of the bid and the ask. You need to look at level 2 for, are there any big orders at resistance that are going to stop me from breaking through that resistance level? Are there any big orders at support which are going to stop it from flushing? And all of these factors, as you get better at trading, this comes with time, and it comes with practice, and it comes with experience. But as you get better at trading, this becomes instinctive, and you start doing and absorbing all this information and making these calculations in your head in fractions of a second. But until you do that, you need to start looking at this from a methodical point of view, where, okay, first and foremost, I need to manage my risk. That is priority number 1. What's my profit goal? My risk needs to be half of that. That's what I would say. If you're swing trading and you may be holding it overnight or longer, then it needs to be 3 times that. Okay, my profit goal needs to be 3 times whatever I'm risking. Yeah, no, absolutely. So this is why you need to, when you're setting your, so my hotkeys are set up in a way that it gives me a 10-cent tolerance on the limit orders. So I can't use hotkeys to trade something like Indonesian energy. I could use my hot buttons because they're based on the selling the bid and buying the ask, whereas my hotkeys are buying the bid and selling the ask. So I would get left, but every time I placed an order to buy with Indonesian energy, it would go without me. And every time I placed an order and I tried to sell and get out of a situation, it would go without me. So you have to be careful about how you're trading and factor in the spread as well. It's not, like I say, it's not as easy as I make it look. It's not as easy as some of the other so-called gurus that you see on the internet make it look, which is why I offer to teach people, which is why I offer about, look, I can give you my strategies. I can give you the knowledge that I've picked up over the last couple of years trading that has allowed me to be profitable. And I can teach you my strategies. I can teach you how to read the charts. I can teach you how to read the patterns and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm happy to do that. I actually get a buzz out of doing that. I enjoy doing that. But it's down to you. you have to be the one that exerts that discipline. You have to be the one that trades, and you know, you have to be a disciplined trader. If you're trying to make, if you're getting into day trading, wanting to be a millionaire, you have to have patience. Can you be a millionaire day trading? Absolutely. Yes, I'm not. No, my definition of millionaire is making $1 million worth of profit, net profit, trading annually. I've never done that yet. Okay, that was my goal for this year. I wanted to make a 7-figure net profit this year. That was my goal. Can I do that? Yes. The numbers speak for themselves and say, yes, it's possible. Am I going to do that this year? Probably not. So I will take that target and roll it over into next year. Now, I'm an experienced, profitable trader. I have a defined, documented strategy. I've got experience of losing money, and I'm okay with losing money because I then take it as a personal challenge to recover that. Don't revenge trade, trying to do it in this all in one go, because that's how you lose more money. But I try and look at the long term and zoom out. Where am I on the month? Where am I on the year? Where am I on the quarter? Or whatever it actually is, zoom out. What do I have to make in the next day, week, whatever? And incrementally increase the profits. And it's the compounding effect to grow that. If you're looking at making, you know, 10 grand into 100 grand in a month, you have to be a bloody good trader to do that. It's not easy. It's not, and to make 10 grand into 100 grand, you're going to be taking huge risks. You're going to be have to be a really aggressive trader to do that. And I don't recommend that for anybody. I would rather you take your 10 grand and make $100 a day. You've got 10 grand in your account and you can make $100 a day. That's 2 grand a month. That's 48 grand a year, 50 grand a year. That's before you start compounding that up. And over the course of that year where you're making $100 a day, you slowly and steadily become a better trader, so that then you can actually then start having bigger days, and you can start setting targets of 200 a day, 250 a day, 500 a day, and slowly and surely scale up. So that 10 grand grows to 20 grand, grows to 30 grand. If you, I start every month, as you know, I start every month with $30,000, and the idea is to grow that, but with the exception of May, where I started taking big swings at the beginning, and that was stupid of me. And I'm fallible as well. I'm human. I'm susceptible to human emotions, which is what happened at the beginning of the month. But a realistic expectation from a $30,000 account is 300 a day. Now, the way I was looking at it, the way you can look at it, is I get 6 times leverage, which increases my risk. So I've got $180,000 worth of buying power, which then gives me the ability to think, okay, well, if I want to make 1%, I can make 1,800 a day. You know, 1% of the buying power gives me a goal of saying, okay, I can make 1,800 a day, or I can risk 1,800 a day to make 3,000. So bear that in mind. Is risk management is the big. Don't be risking anything more than kind of 1% of your buying power on any given trade. To start off with, you can, once you get good, you can, and then look, you can do it at any. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm just trying to educate, just trying to help and give my opinion. So that for education and entertainment purposes only. Hey Alistair, you missed all the action. Yeah, so Michael, it doesn't quite work that way. So the economies of scale don't quite work that way, because unless you're actually moving up in terms of the stocks that you trade as well. If, for example, I would typically trade low flow, low cap stocks, which are typically under 10 million share flow. I kind of set the 150 million flow is where I kind of set the bar and say, okay, it's got to be less than 150 million, but I like to see stocks that are less than 10 million float because I know they're going to be volatile. Now think about that. If it's, let's say it's a $10 stock, and it's a 10 million float. So if I've got $400,000 buying power, you've got 4 times leverage, and I've got a $100,000 account, and I've got 400,000 buying power. If I was to use all of that buying power on that to buy that stock, $10 stock, and it's a 10 million float, I'm buying a huge chunk of the equity and the liquidity in that market. So I could be set with a, end up having to fill out forms because I've got a huge shareholding in that, depending on what the float is. If I have more than 5% of the float, then I have to fill out all these forms and send them off to the SEC as I'm a shareholder in that company. So also, we're in a zero-sum market. What I mean by that is, for every buyer, there's got to be a seller. So if I take a big position with a $10 stock, let's just say I take 10,000 shares of a $10,000 stock. That's $100,000 worth of equity. But let's just say I take 10,000 shares of a $10 stock, and then I reach my goal. I need to sell that. So I need to sell 10,000 shares to somebody who wants to buy 10,000 shares, or a sum of people that want to buy 10,000 shares. Now, the bigger the share size, the more risky it is, because I need someone on the other side of the transaction to buy it from me. If I'm selling, or if I'm buying, I need someone to sell to me, and if I'm selling, I need someone to buy from me. So it's a zero-sum market. So the bigger the share size, the more difficult it is with these low float stocks. On top of that, if I take 50,000 shares of a 2.5 million float stock, and I try and unload 50,000 shares at any one time, and there's not somebody wanting to buy 50,000 shares right there, then the price is just going to dump. And either I won't get filled, or I'll only get partial filled, or people, a whole bunch of other people will see that price action, the price starts to fall, and they'll start selling as well, and I can crash that stock by trying to sell too much at once. So just because you've got a large account doesn't mean that you can make more money. What I'm saying is that low float, which is why I always take the profits and I start with a $30,000 account, because as you get kind of $100,000 or more, if you maintain a similar kind of mentality and trade as if you've got a $30,000 account, yeah, fine, no problem. But it's too easy to then take a lot bigger size and then get stuck with it, and end up losing bigger sums. And that's what had happened to me this month. If you go back to the beginning of May, I lost some big funds there, and I end up with I'll go back to when I 2nd of May, I think it was. If you go back to the video on YouTube of that, you'll see I put the sell order in there, and it just went straight past, because there wasn't enough liquidity there for me to get out of that position. So as the price flushed, I was left holding the bag. So you need to be careful with that, Michael. As you grow your account, again, treat your account like a trade. Take profits along your way. I take profits at the end of every month. I didn't take any profits at the end of April in the end, because I had to reinvest it to trade for May. But pretty much finishing break even on the month for May, Does that not trigger the poison pill though? Let's have a look at Twitter. Wasn't it the poison pill if someone had over 15% in shares, they had to pay a premium? Well, that's good. Alistair, you made money on one. Did you not? You stayed in AMC too long. Did you not take profits along the way? That's the question. If you weren't taking profits along the way, my question is why not? Anyone else has been Benzinga acting up a little bit today? That's right. Log me out. Let me have a quick look at Twitter. News. I'm not seeing any news. Oh, that could be interesting. RIOT, the Shiba Inu founder, has just deleted all his tweets. I wonder what that's about. Yeah, so it's not gone. It's still not gone through. It's still not been fully confirmed that Twitter, Musk's Twitter acquisition yet. We all know it's happening, but it's still not. Well, we all think it's happening, but it's still not happened. It's kind of the bottom line here. Okay, no, that's to be fair, Alistair, that is common practice. You've seen me do it. It is one of the most difficult parts to get over is, and I've just been talking about this with Michael, it's one of the most difficult parts to get over is that emotional element of, look, I'm wrong. I need to get out. But as a beginner trader, a good rule of thumb to use is make sure you exit on the first candle to make a new low. As a beginner trader, you can't go wrong with that. So you basically, that's moving your stop up in line with the price action. And as soon as you get any kind of reversal signal, it's getting you out already. So as a beginner trader, I would recommend that to any new trader, that as you enter a position, you've got your take profit. Yeah, by all means ride it up. But the first candle that makes a new low, That's your time to get out. And it doesn't matter. And when I say get out, I mean get out in its entirety. By all means, take profits as you go, but that first candle to make a new low, you can always get back in. If it then turns around and makes another, because it could be just a consolidation pullback, and that's fine. At which point you look for an entry signal. If it's a bull flag, you might get candles making a new low for a bull flag, which is fine. In which point you miss a fraction of the move, because as it moves back up and it makes a new high, you can re-enter. You might miss 5-10 cents of the entire move. But what that does in the long run is it mitigates your risk for you. So it's just a good rule of thumb to follow in your early part of your trading career, is every time the candle makes a new low and you're in long, exit your position for a profit. I know that feeling as well, Alistair. Been there, done that. Well, do you know what? The dog's happy there on the balcony. I'll give it another 15 minutes. I'm not seeing anything. Not seeing anything moving at all. Is anybody else seeing anything? Let me just get the big scanner out. So those of you, okay, in terms of what I want to show you guys. I'll show you guys this. Okay, so this is my screen and all the chat and stuff. If you go into my profile, and for those of you on you can find these links in those of you on YouTube or Twitch, you can find these links in the description as well. If you go into the TikTok trader link, so in my profile, so if you go back again in my profile, there's a link here that says Linktree TikTok trader. Click that, it takes you to this. Okay, so of course you've got the course that I teach, how to trade, strategies, all that kind of stuff. That's the first one. What I'm talking about here is Benzinga. So Benzinga is what I'm using for finding stocks to trade, why they're moving, when they're moving, how much they're moving. I've been doing some playing around with the whole platform over the last weekend, and there's a new scanner there that also does crypto. So get on this, check it out for free, 14 days for free. Check it out. Let me know if you like it. I could probably get you a better discount if you do want to go ahead and subscribe to Benzinga. But it really is a great tool. I swear by it. I absolutely swear by it. And all the analysis I do is on TradingView. So what I would say is, oh yeah, and check out the course as well. I mean, if you go to the course, the more people we have on the course, the better, the bigger the community that we're actually doing. We're building a lovely community. We've got a Discord, private Discord. We're all helping each other with our trading. Got a full syllabus here. I've just added some more stuff, some more content to this over the weekend, and there's a lot of reading material as well. It's 140 bucks a month. It's 120 plus tax, so depending where you are. But if you want to scroll down and find out, you know, is it profitable? I've got my trader view statistics here that show what I've been doing in terms of trade profit and loss. And I've got my broker statement. So I've got 6 months of these on this homepage on the course, so you can actually check out, am I profitable? Yes, I am. And that is essentially that. But Benzinga, I'm just looking at the new scan, and you can, as I say, you can scan for crypto as well as stocks. So I'm just looking at the new scanner, and it's in beta at the moment, so it does have some really good functionality. But I'm looking at it for stocks right now, and over the last 30 minutes GGR. Have a look at this chart. That's moving steadily up. Not exactly great in terms of volume. But to be fair, it's pretty much bang on the money in terms of average volume. So what we're looking for is, you know, high relative volume. So we're looking for something that's trading more than it would do on any given day previously over the last 3 or 4 months. Change over 60 minutes over the last hour. No. Upstart. Have a look at some of the last week's movers. Black Sky is trying to make a move up. Key level here is 280. Got double top there, so I'll be worried about that. It needs to break above 280. Be worried about that double top. Black Sky from last week. King soft. Low relative volume. Onyx Pharmaceutical, very low relative volume. Upstart was mover last week. This is looking interesting. It went green just after 10:30 market time, about an hour ago. Okay. To be fair, I'm just not seeing anything. Not seeing anything really giving me goosebumps. Just not seeing the volatility in the market today. I don't think I saw many halts or resumes or anything like that. Okay, so guys, what do you think? Worth me coming back for Power Hour later or not? What do you reckon? So let me know in the chat and YouTube if it's worth me coming back in Power Hour later. Let me know in the chat in TikTok or Twitch, wherever you're watching. I'm not taking any more trades until I've been for a walk with the hound, and she's not going to be walking very far because she's got a sore paw today. Yeah, well, look, keep an eye on the markets. There doesn't seem to be a lot worth trading right now. The momentum seems to have dropped out. So I will go back, I'll reset the scanners and come back later. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. In the meantime, I'm happy with my 6K winnings. I say winnings, it's like I'm gambling. I'm happy with my 6K earnings today. And I think a few more days like that and I'll be a very happy bunny. If we don't take any more trades today, that takes us green in terms of trade profit on the month. It doesn't quite take us green on net profit on the month. So, you know, we're kind of break even, I would say, just shy of break even. What did I say? My drawdown was at the beginning of the day. My drawdown was 16,700. So we're 10K. We've lost 10K on the month. I'm okay with that. and I say that blasé, and I don't want to offend people in people in the chat that 10k is a lot of money, because it is a lot of money. But I'm looking at this in terms of the bigger picture on where we were after week 1 of May. We were kind of $55,000 in the hole, and we've come back and we've recovered 45,000 of that. So this is testament that trading is risky. Most people lose money long term. This is the first time we're having a net red day since January last year. The fact that I'm actually trade profit green on the month, I said day, I'm having a net red day, net red month. The fact that I'm having a trade profit green month speaks volumes, considering where we were after that first week, and that's down to my own poor risk management that first week. So had a couple of other days in the month where I haven't traded the greatest, but to be fair, the rest of the days where I have traded well enough of got us back to where we are. So I'll come back for power hour, see what's happening. I'll see you all guys. I'll see you guys in about 3.5 hours time then. Catch you later. Enjoy the rest of your day.